First of all, I want to congratulate you on having your film Aloo Chaat as being chosen to do the closing ceremonies for the Toronto Real World Film Festival on April 19. And our viewers are probably dying to know if you're going to be back for the festival, if they can see you there.
Well, yes, we will be back for the film screening. This will be our first time at the Great World, and we're looking forward to it. And we're looking forward to people's reactions on the film. It's releasing soon, and of course, it'll be a good experience, I think.
Yeah. We have a lot of viewers who aren't familiar with the word Aloo Chaat. Can you tell them what it means and how the title relates to the movie?
Actually, I was one of them because I didn't know what it meant.
Aloo Chaat is basically a Delhi speciality in food. It's aloo, it's got some chaat on top of that. But I believe, I'm not from Delhi. A lot of people who are based in Delhi, they have to have Aloo Chaat at least once a day. So the entire script of the film is related to Aloo Chaat. And why would you say that Aloo Chaat is apt for the film, the title?
I think this film is, the title of the film is more symbolic to the story. It's not a literal title because Aloo Chaat is a food, it's a dish. So as a dish, Aloo Chaat is really spicy. It's got a lot of masala, it's got a lot of spices. Similarly, the film has got a lot of spices, a lot of characters who are like ingredients of Aloo Chaat. And it's also a delicacy up north of India, like she said. And the film is based in Delhi. It's about a Punjabi family that's based in Delhi. And so, it's more symbolic because there's an Aloo Chaat wala, there's an Aloo Chaat guy, an Aloo Chaat vendor who sells Aloo Chaat in the film. And he comes in 3 or 4 or 5 most significant places of the film and sums up the entire story. So it's more symbolic rather than literal as a title.
Was the entire film done in Delhi or did you go to other locations?
The film was shot in
The
Delhi.
exterior, the entire portion was done in Delhi. Interior, just like 1/4 of the film was done in Mumbai. Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the film and each of your characters?
Sure.
It's a totally character-driven film. I'm playing a Muslim character. My character has never visited India. She's been born and raised in US, and she's working with Aftab's character, that's Nikhil. And they both are in love, and for the first time she comes to Delhi, and that is how her entire journey begins. And Aftab is playing a very sweet with a lot of I think you should speak about your character.
I'm playing a Punjabi boy who's obviously gone and studied and worked in the US. Now he's coming back to get married. He comes back to his conservative middle-class Punjabi family in Delhi. And they have a certain preconceived notion about how they want him to get married. And obviously he has his agenda because he's in love with Aamna's character. So when he comes back, he's no clue what he's up against at home. So it's all about how he and Aamna try and convince his family that Aamna is the right girl for him, as opposed to their notions about what kind of a bride they want for him. So it's a very funny, cute film. It's about family. It's about marriage. So I think it's a film that's got a lot of appeal, because marriage is something that's very entertaining for a lot of people. Everyone loves the word concept marriage. So we talk about my big fat Indian wedding, my big fat Punjabi wedding. They all know what to expect.
Linda Arsenio, who we all saw in Bollywood Express when it played the Toronto International Film Festival, she's also in the movie. How does she fit into the picture?
I think we needed a character like her, and we couldn't have asked for a better actor than Linda. She's perfect for the role, and she's done a very good job. In fact, she's a sweetheart, and all of us really got along well on the set, and we had a ball.
How did you both become involved in this project?
Me, I was doing television for like 3.5 years, and I decided that I wanted to do films. I heard a lot of scripts, and finally one day I came across Aloo Chaat, and it is a brilliant script, a wonderful, every character is being placed well, every character is important in the film. It's not only that me and Aftab, they're the most important characters in the film, like every character is well written. That is something that really, I really liked that. And I heard the script, I enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, fine, this is the film that I want to come as my debut.
Yeah, I got involved with it. I was approached by the director I was given a narration of the script, and initially I was not very sure, but then, especially when he told me the title is called Aloo Chaat, because it's a very funny title. It evokes some sort of curiosity as to why would you want to name your film Aloo Chaat. But like I later understood, which is what I explained earlier, it's more symbolic to the film. And I started liking the script. So I read it the second time, I heard it the second time, and by the time I heard it, the second time I was almost convinced that this is a film that's a sweet romantic comedy. It's a film about family and marriage, and it's a film that a lot of people will identify with and like and relate to. So I was
Especially to your character, to my character. They're very sweet characters. Like you instantly fall in love with the character.
Because this film is not a heroine kind of film. It's a character-driven film, and these characters, they're just very sweet, very, very relatable. So that was something that really caught my eye, and I said, I'm in.
What was it like working with director Robbie Gould?
It was great because Robbie is someone who's a young guy. He's been born and raised in Delhi. He's from Delhi, so this is right up his alley, as a script. And he has a Punjabi pulse. He knows the pulse of Punjabi people, up north. So for him, it was a great journey. And he's someone who's a young guy. He thinks out of the box. His treatment is new age. He's
very different.
He's not traditionally thinking, but yet he's got the Indianness in what he thinks. And he's an easy guy to work with. We had a good time working with him.
Did he allow you to have any input into your character?
Yes.
Yeah, he
most
did.
definitely.
I mean, he's a kind of a director who would give an actor his or her freedom. He will not talk a lot. I mean, just before the scene, he would be like, okay, fine, guys, I want this from this scene. And then he would give you all the freedom. So I think that's great. I mean, to have a director like Robbie, it was a good experience working with him.
Aamna, you mentioned that you've been doing television for a while.
Yeah.
This is your first feature film. How is doing a feature film different from doing television?
It is different because I've always wanted to do films. Television just happened by chance, and I'm just like one show old, which went on for like 3.5 years. But films is something that you get to do a lot of characters in films. Wherein in television you just stuck to one character and you start behaving like the character. From morning to night I'm just playing one character. So after a while I was playing this character called Kashish, which was very popular. So after a point it just got to me, it was like, am I behaving like the character in my personal life? That doesn't happen in films. And in a film you get a lot of exposure in terms of acting, which in television, after a point, it gets kind of monotonous.
Did you ask Aftab for any help, any advice when you were filming? Because he's done quite a few films.
Yeah, he has been a wonderful co-star. In fact, not once did he make me feel that this is my first film. He's been very helpful from day one. In fact, first day we had a romantic scene and I was kind of nervous because it was my first day on the set. But he was very nice and very kind. He really was very helpful.
Did either of you play any practical jokes or anything with each other on the set?
No, not really.
The whole film is a practical joke on everybody. So I think they're going to like this practical joke.
The film has a really wonderful soundtrack. We heard some of it last night at the Highland. Do you have any particular favorite song or songs on the soundtrack?
We do.
I think both of us, we really like the RDB track, the title track of Aloo Chaat. We also like the romantic track that has been picturized on Aftab and me. It's sung by the singer called Zulfi. And I am simply in love with that track. In fact, we have that track as a caller tune also.
we kind of like that track. It's very easy. Both the tracks I think is equally liked by both of us. We are particularly biased towards those two tracks.
Aftab, do you have any particular preference for comedy, action, drama, or when you're doing a film when you're looking at a script?
Personally, I love doing intense dramas. I love doing thrillers. I love doing action films. A lot of people perceive me to do this to be liking only comedy. I love comedy. I like doing comedy. I like to laugh. I like to be in high spirits all the time. But as an actor, if you ask me, I prefer doing intense roles, more drama oriented. But yeah, comedy comes to me easily. I find myself very comfortable doing comedies. But I like to do everything. I don't like to limit myself to one particular genre.
Is there any particular actor or director that you haven't worked with yet that you would hope to in the future?
But there are lots of them. My list is endless. I like to work with all the top directors, performance-oriented, great technicians. There's so many of them. If I start, I probably wouldn't stop. But yes, I think that even though I'm quite a few years old, few films old. The journey is not even begun for me. So I think, yeah, I'd love to work with all the big directors.
How about you? Is there any particular person or director that you're hoping to?
There are like a lot of them. Same thing like Aftab. I mean, it wouldn't end. But yeah, I want to work with like all good people.
What sort of projects can we both look forward to seeing from you in the future after Aloo Chaat? What do you have coming out after this?
For me, as of now, Aloo Chaat is everything. It means the world to me. So I would just like to talk about Aloo Chaat.
Begins and ends with Aftab.
Yeah.
No, I have 3 films filming this year. One's a film called Daddy Cool, which is an outrun black comedy with the director called Indra Kumar. It's his production. And then there's a film called Kambak which is for Sajid Nadiawala. And then there's a film called Acid Factory, which is for Sanjay Gupta, which is 3 films, 3 different genres. So yeah, that's what I have in my queue.
I heard you did a film with Sylvester Stallone and Denise Richards.
That's right, that's Kambak. That's the one we shot in LA. Yeah.
Okay. What was it like working with, I assume you worked with an American film crew there?
We had most of the Indian crew.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did, and there were a lot of white crew also there. But yeah, working with the likes of Sylvester Stallone, Dennis Richards. I mean, you've always grown up watching their films. You always watch them. Standing in the same frame as them is always great. It's a privilege. And I think it's a true blend of the West, it's the East, and vice versa. I mean, they're like anybody else. They're actors. We're actors. We share the same passion, which is acting. They're very professional. Great actors, obviously, legends in their own right. So it's obviously great to be working with them and standing on the same stage.
Are either of you surprised about how popular Indian cinema has become over the past 2-3 years? In Toronto, it used to be if you went to a major multiplex, you couldn't find a Hindi film. Now they're everywhere.
I'm happy.
Well, I think I'm not surprised. I'm happy, like you said, because I mean, there's a lot of talent in our country. Actors, technicians, as we can see with the recent Slumdog Millionaire. It does prove to the world that there is a lot of talent in this country. So might as well sit up and take notice. And that's what's happening through films like Slumdog. And of course, there will be a lot of for Hollywood actors, doing films like that we have Kylie Minogue who's come out with here, to a film also with Akshay Kumar. So there's a lot of talent being mixed. So yes, I'm not surprised. I just think better late than never, because there is a lot of talent in this country.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us, and we hope to see you back here on April 19th with your film Aloo Chaat at the Bollywood Film Festival.